It's a Golden Weed Show. That's Yes.
And that's Sasha.
And we're live on idobi Radio on this wonderful summer Monday night. What a beautiful night it is to be back in the studio, back in the idobi Radio studios. We're good and we're glad to be here. You can find us. We're doing so many sophisticated things. First of all, we have merch. I'm wearing it.
Yes.
You can go to the YouTubes if you're listening now. I mean, you won't be able to see it because we're not live streaming, but we will be able to do that soon. But YouTube will have this. I'm wearing our fitted Cool Nerd Weed Show retro logo. John.
It was based off of a painting, an actual painting.
This shit is really cool. Yeah, we have really talented friends. And
shout out Maurice.
Yeah,
Thank
Maurice. You. And we have this design you can get on a mug too. And super fucking sick. Go to coolnerdweedshow.bigcartel.com and find it there. Okay? That's what you should do. The link is also in our Instagram bio, but fuck Instagram.
What a load of shit.
We're annoyed. We had to change our fucking profile picture and they keep taking our fucking posts down. We're not even smoking really in the post. The one was we went to a very fun event that idobi Radio put on this weekend at Frogtown Brewery. Shit was lit.
Hell yeah.
AF. It was so fun. American Authors was there. Tilly was there. Small Pools DJ'd. It was Young Rising Suns. And it was just absolutely amaze. It was so fun. And we were chilling outside and we put a sticker, as one does. One does soft vandalism. And we just put our camera on it. There's nothing crazy about our logo. It has a joint in there, but that could be anything. I guess it says weed in our name. So that's the thing. It's always been the problem.
Our logo keeps getting flagged.
And that's bullshit because our logo is the best part of this show.
And that sticker post.
Yeah. That sticker post. And
all
it was a great
fucking
post.
Kids. Keep leaving your fucking stickers.
Yes. That's what Instagram sounded like. And that's whack. So get your shit together, Instagram. So dumb. Stop suppressing weed content. What's the fucking point? Why are you so mad at
I don't know. I mean, I get cap shops, $25 cap shops in my
that's probably
timeline.
That is it. That's why the robots that control this stuff, they just see weed and they're like, oh, they must be selling weed. We do not sell anything. You know what? Should we put a 21 plus on our Instagram bio or something?
Restrict it to can we do that?
No, I don't know if we can restrict it, but if it just says it.
I've seen.
OnlyFans people do that a lot.
By following us, you are agreeing that you are 21 plus.
Yeah, a lot of weed things do that too.
Does that hold up
I don't know.
Instagram court?
I don't know. I don't friggin' know. I'm annoyed though, so fuck Instagram. But so far, YouTube hasn't taken our shit down. That's cool. So I guess go on YouTube and find us there. And you can talk to us anywhere. We're just upset. That's all. So, okay, this is something I wanted to talk about.
All right, sit down, light one up, pack a bowl, because the nerds have opinions. Grab your greens and sesh with the Cool Nerd Weed Show on idobi Radio.
Thank you, Fish. This is the Nerds Have Opinions, but it's also kind of breaking news. Sanjay Gupta from CNN. CNN is a pile of a mess, but Sanjay Gupta's always been very pro weed.
Oh yeah.
He was also the face of the pandemic, so he was a trusted. When he would come on, no matter what he said, I didn't even care if he was 8 billion people died today from COVID. I was like, oh, Sanjay, you're so reliable.
He was on CNN every day.
That poor guy, every fucking day. No wonder he loves weed.
Trying to reassure us that everything was going to be fine.
Yeah, he was just everything's going to be okay. So the guy, I've always had a soft spot for Sanjay. I feel like he does good reportings and he really susses stuff out. That's what it seemed. I remember when I first moved here to LA, that's when the weed series first kind of popped off. He was doing it on CNN and it was kind of a Vice thing to people were doing a lot of weed content, and they were talking about medical refugees, and nobody really knew what that was at the time. So it's useful info. I don't know. I don't know where you can find the whole series. Like, you're probably on demand it somewhere, but he's done like 7 of these. And the last one was autism. And we did play, I think we played a clip from it. It was good. And again, like we say this and we watch these things all to like underscore the real life. I mean, this is not real life, but it is a, news story. We deal with the actual people, like the actual father who's calling me crying, asking if we have, I think what other gummies were in a tin? Plus was in a tin. Caminos?
The Caminos.
It wasn't Camino. It might have been Plus, because Plus were the original tin ones, I think.
Yeah, Plus was in a tin.
And they had a ratio.
They had a ratio. They've always had the ratio.
A really good ratio. And the father called me crying, asking if I had 50 units. And I was like, that's just about all we have. And he was like, my son is autistic. He bangs his head against the wall until he bleeds. He's having an episode and we can't find the gummies anywhere. And he came in and he was crying and thanking us and hugging us and saying, you don't even understand what this does for my child. I can't get this medicine anywhere else. They won't give it to me in other states. So we see it all of the time.
Daily.
So we know. All that to say, this is a story about the older generation turning to weed.
Sanjay's been on board with cannabis and reporting for about 10 years now.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of seniors come in to the shop, and
they do.
All of this. What is he reporting on? Senior moments and cannabis.
Yes, which is it is interesting. The honestly, that's a big part of dispensary. We had a lot of caretakers. A lot of people come in and bring their older patients and stuff, or their older clients and stuff.
I think it's difficult for a lot of the seniors if they weren't. Well, either they tried. I feel like this is the senior experience. Either they tried cannabis back in the 60s, 70s, or even the 80s, and they either loved it or they hated it.
Right. Or it was
just they didn't really do anything.
They say it in this documentary, the woman that Sanjay is talking to. She's a brand ambassador for Glass House, which we won't go into how we feel about Glass House. You know how we feel about Glass House, and you probably feel the same. That is not part of the story. Part of the story is this woman who is 75. She was of the group of people who thought it was like crack cocaine, and that you were going to be arrested the second you looked at a joint. She was part of the generation that thinks weed is the devil's lettuce, and for sure you're going to go down a path of
she was
destruction.
A former Catholic school principal.
Yeah. So they're not too weed friendly. So it's difficult for seniors to access that acceptance for weed when they've really seen out here. Though I feel like it's different in California. A lot of people, a lot of seniors come to the dispensary. I feel like on Sundays we would have
CBD Sunday.
CBD Sundays, and that's after church or after afternoon dinner or afternoon supper. They would all a lot of seniors would come in.
I do Saturday mornings, and mad seniors come in.
Yeah, and it's great. It's really great to see the older generation get through the stigmas and also their experiences. And it's interesting. And Sanjay, he talks about he goes into obviously a little bit of background about weed and stuff. He talks about the endocannabinoid system. That's something that still people are learning about and need to learn about. And he did stuff on Charlotte. Fiji.
Yeah, one of the very first, the little girl.
Yeah, and she was absolutely wonderful. And she passed away. So, but she changed the entire world with CBD, and Sanjay was there. So, everybody knows and beloves that story. And now I feel like that's happening for older people. He interviews a few senior men, and he's like, this has replaced medicine for you. And like the way this guy's eyes light up, and he's like, it's like magic. Like I think that's the one dude suffered from insomnia. And when you're older, like that's a big problem. Like seniors, number one complaint.
I'd say, yeah, for
besides
sure.
Pain.
Definitely number one
Yeah.
in LA.
Yeah.
Like people need to sleep. If you can't
especially
sleep.
if you're a senior citizen. I mean, I know from my experience, I have wicked bad insomnia. So I understand it. But as like a senior citizen, you need sleep.
Your healing starts when you're sleeping.
100%.
And when you're relaxed.
In every way, shape, or form, your soul and your brain and your body. So it's, I mean, I remember, and it's so tough. Like I remember one senior woman came into the shop, and she was like, it was when we started the childproof stuff.
Oh,
and like she called me up and she was like, how do I open this? I just want to sleep. And I was like, I'm so sorry, man.
That's almost a weekly occurrence now.
Yeah.
Those
So, you know,
tins are really hard to open for a lot of people.
if you're a senior and you're thinking of trying weed for the first time, just have a homie. Just have a friend there to help you open up the thing. Because even our age people get upset about it. They don't like know.
Would you say like set in their ways?
They're set in their ways, and B, it's so new to everyone, really, but it's so new to them. So like there's this one guy who like popped like 5 edibles, you know, because like he was like, because with pills, you know, you have a dosage and it's understood for some reason. We understand pills way better.
Yes.
You know, they say you take one sleeping pill, one whatever Seroquel, whatever that you're going to take to go to bed, or whatever the other pill was that made everybody Ambien.
Made everybody like cook in their sleep.
Or like drive their car
shit
to like their ex's house or some shit. Like that's like, you know what's going to happen. Including the bad side effects. With weed, it's, you know, while you'll never die, drive your car off of a cliff, you might have a little bit of a dosage, or you have a bad time. And this one guy had it, and he was like freaking out. I think he took like 3 edibles or something.
In today, you know, back in 1996 when the medical cannabis movement was really getting going, we didn't have like the 5-10 milligram system. It was like the X system.
Yeah,
so,
that's right. Yeah,
you know, 1X was supposed to be like a regular dose, which varied dramatically depending on the product.
Who knows what that was? What do you think that was? Like a 1X edible? What milligrams do you think that was equal to?
Probably like anywhere from 10 to 20.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Maybe 10.
I don't know. I would take 3X.
Like 5.
I was a 3Xer.
Like a 5 milligram. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. The dosing was wildly different.
Yes, that's the point.
We're much more scientific now.
Well, yeah, yes.
But still, like you still like might be prone to taking extra gummies.
We all are.
Not knowing.
So,
who knows?
So yeah, this homie Ken, he took too many, but he talked to his doctor, which, you know, as a senior, you have a doctor that you know and that you love, right? And that doctor may or may not be cannabis friendly. More and more doctors are. But, you know, my mom has a senior. Actually, she's not even a senior. It's a shame. She has cancer. She talked to her doctor about cancer and weed, because all I do is say, I will find you RSO in that state. They make it now in New Jersey. And the doctor was like, I don't know. And then so she like didn't want to try it. She was scared. And I'm like, she's going through intense treatment. It's not, you know, looking great. And boy, do I know the relief that she can just have maybe just 1 or 2 days of eating or 1 or 2 days of sleep. The pain that you have, the arthritis that you're feeling, if you're going through sickness and illness like cancer and even stuff like panic and disorientation. If you're with somebody who's your caretaker and your doctor approves it, or you find a doctor that can approve it, it's safe. You're going to be safe, you know, like, and that's the thing that more and more doctors are realizing, but there are still some doctors that aren't. So if you're a senior citizen and your doctor doesn't quite yet know what to do, your local dispensary bud tender is happy to help you. We're not doctors. We don't claim to be. But especially in California and places who have been doing this for a long time, Colorado, I'll bet you they are well-versed in helping you.
We could probably actually point you to a doctor that is
100%,
friendly and
100%.
will help you.
We'll help you, yeah. Yeah, like if you want to DM the nerds, whatever you want to do to feel comfortable. We have done this for people, and we do this for
sure.
people. I've done this for people. This is what we do. So, and again, we know some doctors are friendly, and this doctor helped this dude get like on his right dosage. And, it's interesting. Like, it's interesting because you're so right. It's like, there's a big gap in some seniors and when they first tried it and now, like there's like, I haven't smoked weed since I was, in my whatever age. And I stopped doing it because blank, because it was illegal, because I had a bad experience, because, I had kids or whatever. Like,
we're seeing a lot. I'm seeing a lot more of seniors coming in with their kids. I mean, it's summertime, it's vacation, so
yeah,
we're getting groups of families coming through with their kids that are obviously everyone's of age.
Right.
So
yeah, not like their children.
Then you get the conversations happening of when they actually smoked, and you try to find them something mellow, but they're always curious. They're very curious.
Yeah.
Because it's so much different and it's so much more civilized now.
That was something that blew my mom away too when she came to California, that like how like civilized it was. I mean, there are areas of it where it's not, but
true. I think the first time I actually brought my parents into a legal medicinal cannabis shop, they were probably a little nervous.
Yeah, for sure.
To be in the environment, because they, I mean, obviously the police weren't going to bust through the door and bust my mom.
But that's the mindset that they had, like.
But it was a good introduction.
Yeah.
To like how civilized it is and how civilized it can be, the cannabis buying experience.
Definitely. It is comforting to see it in action. And it is very, very safe and civilized in the legal market. And it is comforting. Like you can, and you really can access it safely, and you really can do it. And it is going to be trial and error, if you're trying it
always
for the first time after a while. And that's okay. Don't let that kind of like scare you away, because you will. And it's always like, I'm always like, oh, it's too bad that like that experience that you remember forever, like is the bad one. And trust me, I get it. Like you're talking a couple of trial and errors over here. But like we just obviously are encouraging like open-mindedness, because if nothing's working and you're awake or you're in pain, like the wonders that CBD can do for pain, and that's not even psychoactive. Like, so and sometimes you'll have like, some seniors who will try a topical. One mom and daughter were coming in every Sunday and like putting on, like the mom would put on the topical. She'd be like, "Oh my God, I'm a little buzzed," and I'm like, "You're not. You won't get.
You're just a little giddy."
Yeah. You're not. I always say like you're not in pain, so like that maybe is gonna feel high or euphoric,
like relief.
Yeah.
is you can feel that.
It could be like a form of high, but topical, like that's a way to find relief from weed without feeling psychoactive. If you take CBD, like I don't know. Some people have weird reactions to CBD, so I always feel like I recommend it always to everybody all the time, but sometimes like some people with like a certain like a fibromyalgia or something like will come back and be like, that made me feel like ass cracks. Like that's just not for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just not
the
dosage for them. So you try something else, maybe a higher ratio or a 1-to-1 where it's like an equal. Like this is going to make you feel literally a little high, but you're also going to feel no pain.
You have to find your dosage and start low and slow.
Yeah.
And you'll get there.
And please, this is what my husband's senior father did. He smoked weed when it was legal in Massachusetts with me and took a hit of a joint. I was like, "Yeah, I'm not doing anything." And I was like, "I'm telling you, Art, they don't make them like they were when you were a cop. Like weed is much different now." And he like bodied like half of the joints and was like tore up. This is a famous story. I tell this all the time. He was like very high, and like my mother-in-law was really pissed because he couldn't remember the rosary. They were doing the rosary and like.
Well, then you did.
He got all fucked up and he couldn't remember. And then he had snacks.
You did your job.
I know.
She was like testing him, like.
Well, no, they do the rosary every night. They're like,
I see.
Religious, so they do like the Our Father, Catholic.
Oh,
they do
okay. They have a ritual, and he forgot it because he was lit.
He was litty, and I was like, Jesus still loves him. I'm sure Jesus found that fucking rad as hell, and was like, this high five all the way. I was really like not much prouder than I was at that moment that I got my retired detective father-in-law to get. But that's what happened. He hadn't smoked weed since he was a hippie dippy, like way back in the day, like before even he was married, I think. And I think that like back then weed really was the gateway drug, and he was kind of running in that like loosey-goosey crowd, and I think he started to feel himself slip because that was like his personality. He like partied in the pool halls. That's what he was used to tell me. So he like got into the force, the police force. So he went the other way. So weed is, really the enemy to him.
I mean, for like a career.
For a career.
A full.
You're on the East Coast enforcing the drug laws. So to have that happen was great. And it was also, it's a good example of like not knowing yet how different weed is. And also that's okay. Like, yes, did he forget the rosary? Was my mom-in-law like a little annoyed? Like, yes, but at the end of the day, he had a good time.
And he probably had a good night's sleep.
Exactly. He did say that. He was like, boy, I haven't slept that good in so long. And I was like, that's what's up. Like, that's what's up. Like, it also helps you like, like with your dreams too. Like if your dream, my dreams are hella vivid anyway, but like sometimes you ain't want to dream, and weed can help you sleep through the anxiety, through the pain. So this is it's a good article on CNN.com, but also it ran last night. You can probably find it somewhere. I didn't finish it, but I definitely am going to watch the whole thing later on when I'm smoking lots of weed. It's really nice to be high watching these things because I'm always like, yeah. Hell yeah.
We're doing it. It's on CNN. Go Sanjay. Yeah.
We still have a lot of work to do, we always say. But stories like this and experiences like we have with this, with whatever group of people, like in this instance, it happens to be the senior group of people. Boy, is it fucking wonderful when an older person who just fucking lived life finds relief. That used to make my heart swell out of my chest when I would see them leaving all fucking da-da-da-da. You know what I mean? Like, just like pushing their canes away like fucking Mr. Burns, like all stoked.
It's like that Twilight Zone when they found the, everybody's playing Kick the Can.
Yeah.
All the old people are young again.
I love that episode. That episode makes me cry. They're kids. Oh, I love that episode.
But that's what cannabis does for seniors.
Yes, it's a really beautiful thing to see. It really, really is. And yeah, if you have any questions, TS and I will not belittle anything that you feel. If you are set in your ways as well, we are okay with that too. Just, if you have any questions, we'll answer them. Because we have answers. There's answers to your questions. It's not like that's the good thing about back in the day too, or about it not being back in the day too, is that we have.
There's information. We have the info.
Yeah. I think Chris's grandfather thinks I'm he knows I do radio, but I don't know if he knows what I do in LA. Like I think he thinks I'm like a nurse practitioner or something. I swear.
A florist.
We had the conversation. When his nana passed, and he was like, so how's it going out in LA? What are you doing? And I was like, yeah, well, I'm doing some podcasting. And he's like, oh, okay. I thought you're a receptionist for a doctor's office, because I was working at the weed and I was like, yes, I am.
Yeah.
And his parents were dying. His parents were like just eating like all quietly, because I was like, I don't know what to say. That I don't know what they told you.
I would tell my grandparents that it was holistic medicine, and then the same thing. Everybody would be quiet. There'd be like silence at the table. So
Like, thank you guys. But now, and it's much different. It's much different, even just in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
From when I started, obviously you had been in it, but I had started in it 10 years ago, and so much has changed for the better. Oh my God, look at us. We're so positive right now.
I mean, there's like 38 states on board.
Right. And that all really did happen in the last 10 years.
True.
That was
it
really did go in the right direction. I often wonder if I had never come here, if I was on the East Coast and all of this happened, I often wonder what I would be thinking. Do you know what I mean? Like coming out, like you're so desensitized to the rest of the world, how the world deals with weed. In Southern California specifically, like in LA specifically, we are in a box of people who love weed and accept weed. And even the few who don't do, leaving the state and going to different places in the country, it hits you, you remember, but never have been here, being here and being only from New York and seeing all of this happen. I wonder if I'd just be losing my fucking mind.
In New York?
Yeah.
Right now? Oh, yeah.
Like if I had never be able to get, I wonder if I would still be buying weed on the traditional market. Because I'd be like, fuck paying. Do you know what I'm saying?
Would there be a whole nother multiverse?
We're going to get into this, by the way, in a couple minutes.
A whole nother multiverse where you never move to LA.
Right.
Oh my God.
Like a whole other Spideyverse where I'm in my Brooklyn apartment.
And we never met.
What
the fuck?
And you were here.
I was
doing
here
your thing,
like by myself?
By yourself, no podcast or anything with me. Or maybe you did a podcast with another bitch, but it wasn't me.
With like blue hair.
Yeah. And I was just in New York on the radio, not talking about weed. I don't know that I would, with what New York is doing now. And me, I had obviously bought weed from the traditional market all throughout my life. I wonder if this would bum me out and if I wouldn't want to go, or if I obviously would, but I wonder if I'd be like, what the fuck is going on here? Why is this happening like this? Like I wonder if no matter what, I would be curious and it would lead me to be interested in this, or if I'd just passively be buying on the traditional market like so many people are. And then we never had a podcast or met.
Oh my God. My mind is blown.
I don't like this universe, by the way, that we're describing. This is like not the one. This is the one where like, this is the part of the multiverse where you have to find me in it. You have to find what is and
convince you that you need to move to LA.
Yeah. You have to find like some time doctor. You pick which one it is. It could be Doctor Who. It could be a Marvel doctor. I don't care who it is. And and you have to convince me.
Grab you in the TARDIS.
You grab me in the TARDIS.
And convince you. I basically kidnap you. I dye your hair pink.
This is where you belong. And then everything clicks into place and I have all these visions of past shows that we've done. And this is great.
Wow.
Thank you for coming on that journey with us. We're going to write that for some silly special that we do. And we are going to talk about New York in 1 second. We're going to take a quick break and we will be right back.